Finally, after 4 months of waiting, I have finally received my front sump oil pan, my ACT 6-putt clutch, and my flywheel dust shield cover thing, whatever you want to call it. As I mentioned in my last video, I finally have the K-Series and the BMW ZF 6-speed transmission mounted completely in my car. There is the Subaru Big Event, I think number 12 now, being held at the Subaru dealership here in downtown Houston. So I wanted to have the Subaru ready to be towed out there, so I made this little A-frame tow bar connection thing and mounted the engine and everything in so I can tow it there, but it just so happens that I got the oil pan and everything in right before the show. It is currently Wednesday, the show's on Saturday, so hopefully the motor mounts I made fit up perfectly with this new front sump oil pan. And just in case y'all are interested, I took these pieces of metal, really shittily welded, put them where the stock bumper bar goes, welded nuts on the bottom, and made this little mount so I can connect the A-frame straight to the Odyssey and pull it without a trailer. If anybody knows a better way to connect this engine crane mount thing, I already broke my cam sensor last time. I do have extras, but I don't know how to attach this thing properly. But anyways, now we can completely lift her out. Alright, so here you can get a better look at where I had to cut the transmission for the starter. You can see the spaced out flywheel there. Back of the flywheel getting a little bit of surface rust, but that's what that flywheel shield will go right here to cover that up. So let's see how accurate I cut this. The main thing I wanted was this right where the ears come out, so that way they miss the subframe and whatnot. So let's see. It's obviously flipped, but if we set it down, you can see, ooh, I actually had a little bit more space. That side was right. In order to put this on, I have these little studs right here, and they said you got to take those off. And I already removed the pickup on my K20 oil pump, so I have to put their little adapter on right there. And I already removed the windage tray as well, and then covered up the oil drain hole. I had to thread and tap that, and then I wrapped the bolt in JB weld and snugged it down, so that should be just fine. We're gonna take this little oil pump pickup adapter plate, and it's gonna slap on just like this. Just 9 little baby foot-pounds on that guy. Now we're gonna put the K20 windage tray back on the K24. WTOO windage tray officially on. And if you're worried about my JB weld job, just know that the windage tray holds that bolt up, so it's definitely not coming out. It potentially could leak, I guess, but I'm not too worried about it. Now that we got everything else done, we're gonna put in the pickup tube. So I applied some lube to the O-ring and to the housing, and it's just gonna slip on just like that. You'll use this connecting bracket to hold it right here, and then the bolt hole will go into the bottom of the oil pump chain tensioner. Look at that beauty right there, oh baby. All the oil from right there. K-Power recommended this Valco tube grip thing so you can like squish it better. You don't need it at all, but I thought it was cool, so I just went ahead and bought it. My RTV kind of popped out the back, but it's clogged up front, so I want to see what happens if I squish this bitch and unpop the top. Oh, god damn it. Alright, I felt like a toddler, but I had to put it all on with my finger. But as you can see, I got black RTV all over it. And boom, just like that, everything nice and tightened down. Anyways, let's put this back together and back in the car now. All right, got her all back in. Had a slight issue trying to get the tilt with the engine stabilizer that just tilts it forward and backwards, not left and right. But other than that, everything is back in. And if we look at this clearance, man, I really overcompensated, but I was really scared that this part was going to come out right here and it was going to be really tight, but I have plenty of space. So like I said before, it is Thursday right now. The car show is on Saturday morning, so I do got a few more things to button up. I don't really have much because it's obviously being towed there as a project, so it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, just lowered her back on the ground, and look at this. I had the subframe jacked up and it almost slammed on the oil pan, almost slammed on the jack, but look when I pull it out. You can see I actually angled it a little bit too far over, or this oil pan isn't angled perfectly because my transmission is straight. I made sure that it sits perfectly straight. Not a really big issue, it just kind of sucks because the drain is on that side. So I'll have a little bit of, but I don't know, I'll figure that out later. Maybe I can put the drain on that side when I do the turbo oil feed. But anyways, let's put this A-frame on. Odyssey hooked up to the A-frame, hooked up to the Subaru. I guess let's try. I'm gonna go around my neighborhood. I live in a big circle. So it's definitely a good test, and I can definitely feel the van pulling it. So, all right, she's going straight.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Oh, what the fuck happened? God damn it. I don't have a rear axle in, and the wheel bearing decided to exit the chat. And now I'm stuck in the middle of the road, and I live right over there, but I'm gonna have to fix this bitch right here. Driver's side one's all right. I was able to save it. The passenger side one, the bearing completely blew out of it without having the axle in it. This wheel doesn't really spin, but I just need to get less than fucking 1 block home. Wheel bearing is completely blown out. I got 2 axles dragging, but I am pulling it again with all 4 wheels on the ground. Every time I try to reverse it, the wheels just go cockeyed, so I have it in reverse and it's not gonna move, but it makes it way easier to push backwards when I got some torque from the Odyssey to go back in the garage. All right, believe it or not, I was able to make it back home fucking like 100 yards. Brake caliper dragging. I threw in the rear axles I had to save that one and to get this wheel at least to move. That could have been like 1,000 times worse. I could have not been able to put the wheel back on or something like that. But luckily I did make it back. Not a single person drove by, not a single neighbor stepped out to ask what the hell was going on. Anyways, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm dirty. The Subaru looks really good up front, not underneath now, but I'm gonna go get me some goddamn fucking Taco Bell. Hi, I was wondering if you could fill my ass with Baja Blast. It's the next day. I am so pissed off. I was fucking with the wheel bearing for so long. I got the O'Reilly's rental tool right there, was not budging, had to take the whole knuckle off and take it to a shop, and I gotta pay them to pull the old bearing out and put the new bearing in, and then I got to put the hub assembly on. My brake bracket disc, whatever you want to call it, it's pretty fucked up. I don't know if that's going to be salvageable. I'm pretty much throwing this bitch together just to get it to this goddamn car meet. It's not even that important, but I want to show everything off. The car hasn't been anywhere in 10 months now, 10 and a half, 11 months or so. It hasn't been anywhere, so I wanted to finally tow it, and my dumbass fucked up the damn wheel bearing. All right, the wheel is back on. I got the bearing pressed in from the shop, and then I pressed the hub on after putting the brake bracket shield thing on. I bent all my drum shoe hardware, so I have no drums in. I bent the brake caliper bracket bolting thing, so I wasn't able to put these on. and then the bleeder screw broke off and I tried to extract it. It didn't work. So I have no calipers, no rear drums. The brake line's just sitting up there, zip tied to the coilover. But the wheel spins and you can see the axle stub sitting in that side and sitting in on the other side, so that way this does not fucking happen again. Alright, take 2 of trying to pull this bitch. I gotta pull it out to clean it anyways, but I'm gonna once again try to go around the block, and at least I have an assistant here in case something happens, but let's hope nothing fucking does, okay? Right, here's where I broke down, and there's hardly ever cops in my neighborhood, but there is a police car right there, right where I'm trying to fucking go. So this is gonna be fantastic. I'm gonna get out and act like I'm looking at something so he doesn't come over here, hopefully. It's a waiting game, and I won. He was driving so slow. I got out and fucked with it for a minute, but he may be waiting for me up there.
Damn.
No, someone's tailgating me. I don't know if the video picked it up or not, but there was tire screeching, and it is coming from this passenger side front tire. The alignment is so bad that the tire has a bunch of toe in, so it's facing inward, so I may be able to adjust that just enough to drive. It is about 40 minutes away, the meet. I have to take the beltway, which is 65 miles an hour. Don't know how this is all gonna play out, if it's even gonna be worth it, but we're gonna fucking send it, okay? I'm not gonna go through all this goddamn stress and fatigue and everything like that just to not take this bitch there. All right, we made it back. Now it's time to clean this up and clean the Odyssey up, because I have not cleaned it since I drove to Gatlinburg, Tennessee and back. So I got a nice collection of bugs all over the wrap. All right, got everything cleaned up, ready to go. Bringing my tools with me just in case. I don't know what's gonna happen. Put the spare tire in there. Got everything loaded up and ready to leave in the morning. It is currently 9 a.m. The meet starts at 10. I'm like 35-40 minutes away from it. The quickest way there is to take all the main roads. I don't know if I'm just gonna fucking send it or not. I'll probably test it out on the highway a little bit and see how I feel before I get on the interstate and the beltway. I'm also bringing my 22B Hot Wheels that I had Travis Pastrana and Scott Speed sign. So hopefully Bucky Lasix there, and he'll want to sign this somewhere too. Alright guys, well, believe it or not, she made it, and on top of that I got a front row seat. Not exactly sure how that was open for me, but we here, boys. I wasn't the only first gen Odyssey that towed something here. Hell yeah.
Why's all the trouble with
They got a lot of non-Subarus here. All the other big events, they don't have that many other cars, but this one's just flooded with other cars. It's kind of weird.
If I'm a little slow today, you can blame that guy right there, okay? For keeping me up so late. I want to say thank you for everyone, to everyone for coming out today. At this point, I feel like I should change my name to Bucky Gillman, because I've been here so many times to all these events, and I'm always so impressed with the event that they put on for everyone.
Yo, look at this vendor's car. This is some like Indian, Vietnam type weird looking thing. I've never seen a trike like this before. Pretty sick. Not gonna lie, I got some strong opinions about Subarus, but we're gonna see what cool shit's at this meet. Baby stock first gen. This guy is always out in Houston, and I just love the gold wheels. massive stretch on this Gixxer with tires wider than my fucking car. Homeboy's got a transfer case for his chain, Jesus Christ. Little rat rod Civic out here. Hell yeah. Rally spec first gen SVX, Subaru Brat. There he is right there, boy. See, I'm all for bringing your project here, but what is going on with this bumper, bro? It's a cool E30, but homeboy definitely learning how to rap. He definitely learning how to do body work, so I gotta respect it. Really clean pre-facelift. Still not a fan of how they look though. Homeboy always comes out, but he's a clout god. Blitz 03s on a chaser. Clean as fuck. The clean ass first gen I'm always comparing myself to. Had a crowd come and go the whole time she's been here, so I guess people like it. Just a Civic. Psych, it's got a supercharger on it. What the hell with the clear killer glass. A clean stock looking, at least. I don't know what's under here, but EG hatch. I wish these were still in the car scene as prominent as they used to be, but everyone's buying shit like this now, goddammit. There's two types of Subaru owners. First gen wagon lifted, first gen wagon slammed and K-swapped. We got the free car show food right here. Oh my goji. Alright, all hooked back up, ready to leave the show. Did not win no trophies, but we had a good time and got to show the car off.